As structural engineers, our job is to deliver safe, efficient, and constructible designs, all while working under tighter budgets and faster schedules. High-strength steels like ASTM A913 allow us to design lighter members and optimize material use, but they also require thoughtful specification. By understanding how to properly specify A913, you can take advantage of its benefits while also reducing your risk throughout the project. Welcome to the ArcelorMittal International Channel, where we talk all things structural steel. Let's start with the basics. First, we want to look at the approved materials on our general notes. If you have never worked with A913 before, your standard notes likely only list A992. You will want to include all A913 grades you are using on the project, and also indicate how they would be called out on drawings. Next, you'll want to check if you have a particular welding electrode listed. If you typically only use A992 steel, you may have a note restricting electrodes to E70 series. While E70 matches strength to A992 steel, the increased yield and tensile strength of A913 will require higher strength electrodes. For grade 65, you'll need E80. For grade 70, E90, and 80, E100. Alternatively, you can reference AWS Table 5.6 and 5.7 to confirm which electrodes are acceptable. AWS D1.1 Table 5.6 assigns a group number to specific steel grades based on strength. For example, A913 grade 80 has a group number designation of 5. Table 5.7 then specifies allowable electrodes for that group number. In the case of grade 80, the matching strength electrode will be E100. The same concepts apply to specifications. Ensure all applicable grades of A913 are listed as acceptable materials, and ensure welding electrodes align with the grades of A913 that are being used on the project. Another important step is understanding what shapes are available in each grade of A913 before you begin your design. The best resource for this information is the ArcelorMittal International website. Navigate to the Products and Size Range page and scroll down to the Availability chart, where you can find all grade availability for each shape. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you will also find a downloadable version, which is also color-coded to indicate grade availability. I would recommend printing this out for a quick and handy reference. Another useful resource is the AISC website. On the AISC homepage, you can select the shape and grade designation for a complete list of available shapes. Last but not least for the basics, make sure to clearly mark A913 members on your drawings. Since A913 is typically used for strength-controlled elements, let's look at a gravity column schedule as an example. You can either label individual members with whatever naming convention you've chosen, or if you're using the same grade of A913 for all or most of your columns, you can add a note to the sheet designating the specific grade. Now that we have the basics covered, let's talk about which grade of A913 is right for your project. As the structural engineer, it's relatively simple for you to figure out how much weight you're going to save using different grades of A913. But there are other variables to consider, like weldability, fabrication costs, and fabricator experience. These other variables will make it more difficult for the engineer to determine what grade of A913 will be the most cost-effective. One solution that's been implemented very effectively in the past is the use of a multiple column schedule. Here's how it works. The engineer of record provides options for different A913 grades for the same members. Fabricators can then price out those options and choose the grade that's most efficient for their shop, experience level, and the project overall. This approach takes the guesswork out of the equation and lets the market decide what's the best option. It lets the structural engineer deliver an optimized design while also removing the risk. It provides fabricators flexibility and allows them to add value based on their expertise. By following these steps, you'll set up your project for success with A913 high-strength steel. That's all for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest and greatest in structural steel.